Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Shawn Thinking Out Loud, coming to you from the White House Ballroom. That's right, I'm at the nation's capital. Sort of. And trust me, today we have a doozy for you. Now, grab your coffee, settle in, and let's dive into the latest kerfuffle that's got the loony left losing its marbles. Yes, we're talking about the new ballroom at the White House. Now, let me set the stage for you. For 150 years, the White House has had a ballroom. That's longer than some of our politicians have been in their current jobs. Picture it, a grand hall filled with dazzling chandeliers and the echoes of countless gala nights where dignitaries have waltzed and presidents have awkwardly tried to show off their dance moves. Looking at you, Gerald Ford. But now with President Trump making some upgrades, oh boy, are the critics coming out of the woodwork. Suddenly, every interior decorator and armchair critic on social media seems to have an opinion. Some are clutching their pearls over the new gold-plated drapes, because who doesn't want their curtains to scream opulence or a decibel level that could wake the founding fathers? While others are just hoping there won't be another Dancing with the Stars moment involving a confused cabinet member and a disco ball. It's as if they think the very foundation of democracy rests on whether or not there's enough bling in the ballroom. So grab your popcorn, folks. This is one political drama where style may just take center stage, and we're all front row spectators at this dazzling spectacle of decorum. So here's the scoop. Donald Trump isn't dipping into the taxpayer pockets for this ballroom. Nope, he's using donor money and his own hard-earned cash. I mean, if I had millions to throw around upgrading my house, as in the people's house, I'd be doing it too. Picture this, a grand chandelier twinkling with 1,000 stars above, gold-plated everything, and maybe even a life-size statue of himself doing the moonwalk in the corner. After all, who wouldn't want to throw a gala where the theme is Make Ballrooms Great Again? You can almost hear the donors whispering sweet nothings about how their contributions are going to ensure that every presidential event has the flair of a Las Vegas show. Sure, some might grumble about extravagance in optics, but let's face it, if you're going to host dignitaries from around the globe, wouldn't you want them to feel like they've stepped into a five-star hotel instead of an old-school diner? It's all about priorities, right? And let's be honest, nothing says I'm running this country like a boss, quite like a ballroom that could double as a set for The Great Gatsby. So, while some may raise their eyebrows at the expense, others might just be waiting with bated breath for that next Instagram post showcasing the latest luxurious upgrade. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. The White House has been kind of a party pooper when it comes to hosting major events, which is a bit ironic considering it's supposed to be the ultimate venue for political shindigs. Imagine trying to throw a bash for world leaders, diplomats who could probably negotiate peace over cocktails, and having to pop up a giant tent 100 yards away. I mean, come on. Talk about taking away from that presidential vibe. It's like inviting Beyonce to perform at your wedding, but having her set up in the garage because the living room is off limits. Instead of mingling in the grandeur of the Rose Garden, you've got heads of state awkwardly balancing their hors d'oeuvres on their laps while dodging raindrops under that oversized circus tent. And can we talk about the photo ops? Instead of iconic shots with the White House backdrop, we're left with images of world leaders looking confused as they navigate what looks like an outdoor flea market. So much for executive ambiance. It feels more like an elaborate tailgate party where everyone forgot to bring their folding chairs. At this rate, we might as well turn into a potluck and see who brings the best casserole. Just don't forget to label yours nuclear negotiations. This new state ballroom will be a whopping 90,000 square feet, enough room to fit 650 guests comfortably, which is basically the equivalent of hosting an entire small town at a fancy gala. Just imagine the sheer amount of canapes that could be served. We're talking mountains of miniature quiche and towers of shrimp cocktails stacked high enough to rival the local skyscraper. Not to mention, this place will be a veritable paradise for political backslappers and schmoozers alike, with ample space for every awkward handshake and overly enthusiastic pat on the back. You could probably play a game of hide and seek in there, although I'm not sure how well that would go over with the dignitaries trying to look serious while discussing budget allocations. And let's not forget about the decor. It'll likely feature chandeliers so extravagant they might just make your average disco ball feel insecure. All in all, this ballroom promises to be the ultimate venue for mingling, making connections, and perhaps even orchestrating some delightful political maneuvers that keep our leaders on their toes and our stomachs full. And let's not forget, President Trump has been all hands on with this project. Like a kid in a candy store who just discovered the world of interior design, he's been meeting with the White House staff, National Park Service, and even the Secret Service, because what's a ballroom without a proper top secret flair? I can just imagine them all rolling up their sleeves, donning hard hats and adorned with "Make Ballrooms Great Again" stickers as they meticulously plan out every detail to ensure that this ballroom shines brighter than his Twitter feed at 3 a.m. They're not just keeping it classy, they're giving it the full presidential treatment. Picture the Secret Service agents trading in their suits for tuxedos, practicing their best dance moves in preparation for the grand opening, while staff members debate over whether gold or platinum accents screams elegance more. With a mix of laughter and perhaps a few playful debates over color palettes, this team is determined to create a space where diplomacy meets disco, a ballroom fit for both state dinners and impromptu conga lines. So buckle up, folks. When this ballroom is unveiled, it promises to be nothing short of legendary. Just don't forget to bring your dancing shoes. You know who's heading this architectural masterpiece? McCrary Architects. CEO Jim McCrary said it best. Presidents in the modern era have faced challenges hosting major events at the White House because it's been untouched since President Harry Truman. It seems like that old house could use a little TLC, perhaps some new wallpaper, a few fresh coats of paint, and maybe even a bouncy castle for those high-stakes garden parties. I can almost hear the echoes of "Hail to the Chief" bouncing off those walls already. Just imagine the look on President Truman's face if he could see what his beloved abode is turned into. A historic site that's more stuck in time than your great aunt's collection of 1970s disco albums. McCrary and his team are stepping up to give the White House a much-needed makeover, making it not just a symbol of power, but also a venue where presidents can actually enjoy themselves without worrying about dodging drapes that haven't seen the light of day since Eisenhower was in office. If walls could talk, they'd probably be begging for some new stories, maybe featuring lively dinners with world leaders or perhaps an impromptu karaoke night. Just picture President Biden belting out "I Will Survive" after a tough day in Congress. With McCrary Architects at the helm, we can expect more than just structural improvements. We're talking about transforming the White House into a place that reflects both history and modernity, where and did I mention the construction team? Clark Construction is in charge, with ACOM engineering it all. Now, if these folks can build a ballroom with the same flair they use to construct roads, we might just end up with the fanciest dance floor in all of D.C. I mean, picture this, a dance floor so smooth that even Fred Astaire would trade in his dancing shoes for a pair of roller skates. The kind of place where the chandeliers sparkle like freshly paved asphalt under the bright lights, and the acoustics are so impeccable that even your Aunt Mildred's off-key rendition of "I Will Survive" will sound like it's coming from a Broadway stage. And let's not forget about the details. I've heard they're planning on including some serious safety features, like guardrails along the edges to keep the overly enthusiastic twirlers from tumbling into the buffet. So, grab your best tuxedo and practice your moonwalk, because this ballroom is shaping up to be a glittering gem in our nation's capital, one where even the potholes will feel jealous of its elegance. Speaking of fancy, let's not forget our friend Susie Wiles, the White House Chief of Staff, who seems to have taken it upon herself to moonlight as a party planner extraordinaire. She recently declared that Trump is a builder at heart with an eye for detail, which sounds suspiciously like code for get ready for a shindig that'll put the Met Gala to shame. One can just imagine Trump in a hard hat, meticulously measuring the dimensions of the dance floor while insisting on gold-plated confetti and a taco bar that would make even the most upscale food trucks envious. With Susie at the helm, it's likely that the guest list will read like who's who of political powerhouses, all vying for the chance to take a selfie with a life-size cutout of Trump in his construction gear. So, buckle up, folks. If there's one thing we can count on, it's that when Trump throws a party, it's going to be bigger than Texas and twice as loud, complete with fireworks, streamers, and possibly a cameo from an alligator just for kicks. So, what do we take away from all this? The new White House ballroom is more than just a place to throw fancy parties. It's like a historical time It's like a historical time capsule that's been given a modern twist. It serves as a bridge between the past and future, ensuring that generations come can waltz through history while sipping on overpriced champagne, because nothing says we respect tradition quite like clinking crystal flutes. And let's face it, if Trump wants to spend his money on something that isn't golf or a new jet ski, who are we to judge? After all, the man clearly has a flair for the dramatic. Why not channel that energy into something that could host state dinners instead of just serving as a backdrop for his Instagram selfies? Imagine future leaders gliding across the ballroom floor, discussing world peace while dodging glittering chandeliers and trying not to trip over those historical rugs. Now, that's what I call multitasking. So, here's to the new ballroom. May it be a place where history is not only preserved but also celebrated with all the pomp and circumstance it deserves, one lavish soiree at a time. That wraps up this segment for today. As always, don't forget to tune in on Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern for the Federalists, where we dive deep into the minds of our founders and unravel their motivation behind the U.S. Constitution. If you want more of my musings on politics, history, or even martial arts, yeah, I've got books on that too. Check out the link in the description for audiobooks and ebooks. Thanks for joining me today. Stay curious and keep thinking out loud. Until next time.